Welcome to Mainland Television's Nelson Tasman Regional News. I'm Graham O'Brien, and this week's news roundup: Nelson City Council featured in workplace bullying, iconic wharf business set to close, Takaka Caves Part 2, plus more. This week, a screening on Prime TV last Tuesday night featured a case involving Nelson City Council on the issue of workplace bullying, which involved the death of a Nelson City Council officer referred to as Mr J. I spoke to former police prosecutor Hugh Flower, who appeared on the program and acted as an agent for Robin Hutchinson in the whistleblower employment disputes case against the Nelson City Council that was presented in the documentary on bullying. The documentary on Prime TV last night raised some really serious questions about bullying in the workplace. Nelson Council was front and centre of that documentary. How did you get involved with the documentary?
Well, Mike Cunliffe from the PSA knows that I'm an ex-cop, and Robin Hutchinson wanted a couple of subpoenas served on council staff. So I offered to serve them, and then started getting interested in the machinations of Robin's case. And I essentially got in touch with her and said, send me your file. Had a look through it and thought, she's got a good case. And as I knew that she had dispensed with her two lawyers and that she'd have to do it on her own, I thought, well, I'd prosecuted in court for 12 years.
Sure. And
I offered to represent her.
And can you quickly just briefly outline the guts of the case?
Well, Robin was an executive assistant at the council, and she was called into two of Mr J's disciplinary meetings to take notes, to record the notes, and she was actually appalled at the way he was verbally dealt to. There's no other way to describe it. Yeah. Railroaded.
Hugh, some may say it's water under the bridge. It was the past CEO that actually resigned before his contract was up, surprisingly enough, and a mayor that's been dumped. What would you say about that?
No, I wouldn't agree with that. The situation, constitutionally, the mayor and the councillors are elected by the people of Nelson. The mayor and the councillors select the CEO. The CEO acts under delegated authority from the mayor to carry out council functions. That's how it works. It's incumbent on them to know what's going on in their patch. So to, for instance, argue that they may have inherited the problem from a previous mayor and a previous CEO is a bit specious to me. You need to know what's happening inside your own building.
So you're saying that this behaviour of bullying is still carrying on, is still there?
My information is that it still exists and has done for quite some time.
Yeah. The mayor's already said in the local newspaper that the council is a happy workplace. What you're saying is that that's not the case.
I don't think so. I'd love to see the staff satisfaction survey, not just the current one, but previous ones, because I have information that indicates to me that certainly previous staff satisfaction surveys have had a little bit of duress inserted into them on the staff that are required to fill them in.
Yeah, well, I mean, somehow the Nelson Mail got hold of not the last ones, the ones before the staff surveys, and they were not good at all. I've actually asked for the latest staff surveys and under the Information Act, and was denied. So I've gone to the Ombudsman, and we're waiting for them to rule on whether we can get those surveys. So
you've got to ask, what's to hide? I mean, these people are essentially employed by the ratepayers of Nelson. So why should they hide this sort of stuff, yes, or be reluctant to divulge it?
Yeah, well, that's my question to them exactly.
Yeah.
Do you have any comments on this whistleblower process that the Mayor talks about in one of her articles that was released recently?
Well, yeah, I do. And it existed at the time that Robin got dismissed. The thing is, as a new employee, she wasn't aware of it because the council at that time had an induction process where new employees were taken through all the council systems, which included the whistleblower process. But she hadn't got to that stage in her career yet. So at the time of the court hearing, it was only at the time of the court hearing that she and I became familiar with it. Yeah. But the two people that were identified in the document as the go-to people to whistleblow to, quite frankly, no one in their right mind would go to those two.
Yes.
That's just being honest.
Were these guys one of the main players in Robin's case?
One of them certainly was.
J?
Yeah, certainly. One of them certainly was, and he figured quite prominently and adversely in her employment court case.
Yeah, it's not really making you feel like going to these people, is it? If you
No,
have
it's
a
not.
problem.
No, and as far as their disciplinary investigations go, the Spanish Inquisition would have been proud of them without the torture tools.
Going off the topic a little bit, this brings up a question that I've had going for a long time, is that what happened to the past parking wardens that left en masse? I've spoken at the CEO's contract meeting. I asked about this. I've looked around. I've tried to get information about it. It seems to be under some sort of confidentiality clause. Do you have any, in your workings, have you come across these across the parking wardens, and can you speak a little bit about that?
Well, I can. Along with Mike Cunliffe, I represented them at their disciplinary hearings, which were similar to the ones that Robin underwent, and they were not treated well. And I believe that people in the council management knew about what was going on at the time and did nothing about it. Had we been able to afford a lawyer at the time, had we been familiar with the Employment Act, then I'm satisfied that their 3 cases would have gone to at least the Employment Relations Authority first, and then if necessary the Employment Court, and the outcome would have been totally different. But I don't think the council wanted anyone to know what was going on.
Yes, yeah. Well, I hope one day that we will know what went on with the parking wardens, because they had a lot of, they've been there a long time, they had a lot of experience, and since then we've had nothing but trouble with the parking. This whole town's been turned upside down. Just going back then, I heard that 16% of staff, there's a 16% staff turnover at council for the last 2 years. That sort of points to what you were saying before, that this bullying behaviour is still there, people are not happy and they're leaving. Would that be a fair comment?
Yeah, it would be a fair comment, and I'm in touch with people that still know what's going on in there, which is why I find the CEO's comments on that program last night that things have been fixed a little bit surprising. I saw the figures from the PSA at the time of Robin's court hearing. When you compare them to Marlborough District Council and Tasman District Council, where the numbers were very, very low, the figures relating to Nelson City Council are appalling, quite frankly.
Yeah. Hey, Hugh, thanks very much for your time. Thanks for your efforts on behalf of Robin and everybody else.
You're welcome.
And say thanks to Robin for standing up and bringing this case out, because it needs to be sorted.
Yeah.
Just before you go, do you think that, I have a worry that what goes on in council is then projected onto the community when they come out. We have a lot of trouble with them coming out to the community and hoisting things on us and not having consultation when they say they're going to, and trying to railroad the public.
Yes, and well, I can give you 2 examples. One's the Maitai walkway that they're currently looking at spending 600 grand on. God knows why. And the other one is the small bore rifle club down at the park. Some of people who I know, and to me the council are not following the intent of the Reserves Act in that regard. They're actually trying to kick out people that actually the Reserve Act provides for.
Yeah. Busy Tasman country crossover musician Ali Cook is currently overseas on a European tour and has just announced that she is to be an opening act for international artists Melissa Etheridge, Huey Lewis and REO Speedwagon at their Taupo-based concert on the 30th of January 2016. Cawthron Institute is set to open its doors again this year to the public. Each year the open days prove to be popular, with large crowds attending the one-day event. However, some have in the past been turned away due to the fact that the Cawthron Centre cannot cope with large volumes of people, which means those who get in early will get in. I caught up with Cawthron Community Development Manager Joe Thompson to find out more about the Cawthron Institute and the part it now plays in our world. Joe, thanks for taking a bit of time to talk to us today. Can you tell us a little bit about the background of Cawthron Institute?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for coming along today. We're really proud of our history at Cawthron Institute. We're New Zealand's largest independent science research centre. We've actually been going since 1921. And Thomas Cawthron started us off back then. He was a local merchant, local businessman. And in his last will and testament, he decided he wanted a science institute in his name. And he left the equivalent of, I think it was $130 million in today's money. And thanks to him, here we are today.
Yeah, and I mean, if people keep their eyes open, you can see Thomas Cawthron's name around a lot of places in Nelson.
Absolutely, yeah. What an amazing guy. I mean, everywhere you look in Nelson, there's something with Thomas's name on it. In the hospital, the School of Music, Rocks Road, the cathedral steps, yeah, all over the place. So he really left his mark in Nelson.
It's nice to see. At the Cawthron Institute now, what industries are you currently working with?
Well, there's a huge range of work that we do. Obviously, aquaculture is a big one for us. We're trying to support the industry as it develops. We've also got coastal and freshwater science that we work on, so looking at how we use marine resources efficiently and effectively. We do a lot of environmental science, but also analytical testing. So that sounds a bit wordy, but analytical testing is really testing things like food products, so making sure that the things that we have in our cupboards are safe, and challenge testing, so what's on the label is actually in there.
Oh, yeah, interesting. With that kind of work, could you be considered to be an environmental watchdog or a watchdog for the consumer even?
I don't know if I'd say an environmental watchdog, but we certainly do a lot of environmental work. We're very much about walking the walk as well as talking the talk, so we really look at our in-house work as much as what we do for our clients and the government-funded work that we do. So we've got a sustainability task force based at Cawthron, and we look at our everyday activities, things that we're working on. So, for example, our new building that we've got in the background here was opened just 2 years ago, and we really looked at how can we make sure that this building doesn't have a really negative impact on the environment.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting stuff, isn't it? Yeah, I've heard some other great stories about what you do at Cawthron with your recycling and having bikes that people can use. Just a little bit off topic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're fantastic. So we have a fleet. We've got a boat and we've got cars that we use, but we've also got bikes, like you say. So if anyone has a meeting that's in town or close by, we just book out a bike and cycle to our meetings.
Nice. You have another one of your great open days coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited about this one. So on Sunday, the 26th of July, we'll be opening the doors from 10 till 2. And we do this every year because we have so much interest from the public in what our science is all about. So we've got leading edge scientists and world leading scientists, I should say. They're going to be representing their work to the public. So people can come along and ask all about what they do, how they got into those career paths as well, which is a really interesting point for students interested in science. And you can see the toys that we have. So one of our great things is Tascam, which is a huge buoy that's mounted out at sea, and we're going to have that in our building, believe it or not.
Oh, that'd be interesting to see. Yeah, you've had such big turnouts to these open days. Are there any thoughts on extending the days or having more of them to accommodate the amount of people that you get, the crowds?
Yeah, absolutely. They are hugely popular. We get around about 500 people every time we have an open day. It's something that we're looking at for next year, maybe extending it to a Saturday and a Sunday instead of just one day. But yeah, unfortunately, we rely on our scientists volunteering their time, and these guys work really hard, so I don't want to push it too much.
Are you saying to the people of Nelson, come along, pack this out, and you might get more of it next time?
Yeah, maybe. Watch this space.
Joe, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you so much for coming.
For more information on the open day, please visit the website. An iconic Mapua business specifically designed for parents and their kids is set to close its doors after a deal offered by the landlord, Tasman District Council, was just not viable to keep the small seasonal cafe business operating, leaving the Mapua Wharf area a place of restaurants and alcohol consumption and bike hire. Chrissy Small caught up with business owner Adele Caltro, who is closing her business Hamish's in 2 weeks' time.
I've caught up with Hamish's owner and operator, Adele. Adele has been here since woe to go, really, haven't you, Adele?
Pretty much, yeah. 9 years I've been here now.
Yeah. Now, look, one of the main things about coming down Mapua Wharf was, this is when you first started, of course, was to come down, do touch the sea, all
Yeah.
the tactile animals that the kids could play with, the gift shop, and then come across to Hamish's for something to
Absolutely.
eat and drink with the
Absolutely.
family. Made it a real day out. Now, of course, we lost Touch the Sea, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
And now we've got memorabilia. I see you've kept the memory alive
I
here.
have, yeah, definitely I have.
Now, but you're not keeping Hamish's alive, I'm afraid.
No, unfortunately not. No, we have to close our doors, which is very sad to us all. We do that on the 26th of July, so only another couple of weeks to go now. But never mind, it's kind of been it's an end of an era, and it's been an amazing 9 years. We've loved every bit of it here in Mapua Wharf. We've loved all the children coming and going and getting to know them all, and the families and the locals are just amazing. So
Yeah.
we're going to miss it.
Yeah, it's going to be a real loss, I think, for the community, because it's the only place that a family can really come to and have a family time.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe something else might come that might replace it, but just unfortunately we weren't able to financially do that. So, and there was a couple of issues as well, but we won't go into that. But
So you've had to vacate the building, basically. Your lease has come up, and I believe
Yes.
the Golden Bear is taking over this area.
yes,
Yeah.
I believe so too.
Yeah. So okay, this has been a bone of contention for some time, and it's something that you've obviously wanted to resist, but you've been unable to.
Yeah,
Council
that's right.
bought the building.
Council bought the building, yeah.
How long ago?
Probably about a year or so ago now that they bought, well, might be a wee bit longer, that they bought the building, and yes, with the intentions of the Golden Bear taking over the entire building.
So council obviously haven't seen any value in maintaining something for the young people of the area.
Can I say no comment?
You can say no comment, but it seems a real shame. I mean, you've really, from the sandy floors with the shells painted on there, the fish, there's so much of that brings back and conjures up the aquarium again.
Yes.
That this looks like it's going to be lost for eternity with the closure of Hamish's, and sadly, all that's going to be left is some bikes for the
Yeah.
families here
and
down at the
drinking
wharf.
outlets. Yes, yeah. I mean, I do agree with that, but there was quite a few other different circumstances as well that everyone had to take into account, and it just at the end of the day just wasn't going to be able to work for us anyway. Hopefully somebody else will be able to come along, and perhaps that has a bit more financial support, and we'll be able to do something, and hopefully they remember the children, because that's what we want.
Well, that's
on
what the wharf was.
Surely,
Yeah, it's the
surely that's what
community.
it's all about, is everybody,
Absolutely.
not just adults that can drink. Surely we can have the little kids, coming in and out for something or other. Yeah.
Right. Now, Adele, what would you like to see happen down the wharf? Have you seen the plans of the new buildings?
I have seen the plans for the new buildings. It did at that time, of course, include Hamish's was going to be part of the new plans. Everything else, I'm not 100% sure what's going in there. They haven't confirmed everything yet, so but there is a plan of it drawn on the fence over there that you could have a wee look at, but exactly what goes into every shop, I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think people ought to get down here before you close
Yes.
towards the end of the month.
Yes.
At the end of the school holidays, I would imagine it will be.
So the 26th is the Sunday after the school holidays. I thought we were going to finish at the end of the school holidays, and then we thought we'll give the locals that extra week. So I swung it for another week, just to give the locals time to come and say, see you later. Yeah.
Okay, so this is an opportunity for people to come down and treasure what's left of the Mapua Wharf as it used to be before.
The end of the era. Yeah.
Before
that's
it completely changes face altogether.
Yeah,
This is an iconic little shop, and
Yeah.
it'll be sad to see it go.
Definitely. We'll all be very sad. Yeah.
Well, Adele, thank you very much for bringing so much joy to the children of Mapua and the greater region, because it's been fabulous to have this here.
Oh, it sure has. It's been amazing. It's been a really, really great 9 years.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a couple of the school teachers yesterday, and they said that yes, they'll try and get a school trip in, so they're going to bring all the kids down from Mapua School, and so that'll be great. Yeah.
Well, you're very much one that's been involved in Play Centre and the school with your own kids having grown up through the cafe as well and working for you.
Absolutely. I mean, if nothing else comes of all of this, my children can run the cafe, so life experience. They don't just know the serving side of the cafe, they know the GST, the PAYE, they know the heartache of having to shut something. So great life experience for children.
Sad to see you go, Adele.
Thanks, Chrissy.
It's going to be a real loss, and thank you for all those years.
You're more than welcome. Thank you.
The South Island 15 and 17-year-old Southern Zone Rugby League tournament hit town in Nelson with the first South Island match kicking off last Monday at Te Hunanui. Teams from Nelson, Tasman, Marlborough, West Coast, Canterbury, Otago and Southland were here to play for the top position, with the tournament finishing up with prize giving on Wednesday night. It was a huge job, filling up 210 hungry boys along with 50 adults by the Nelson Suburban Club, with a job well done from the comments I heard. The boys were lucky enough to have Ben Henry from the Warriors and Jerome Ropati, who recently retired from the game, attending the prize giving and offering advice and encouragement to those present on how to work towards their dreams of becoming a professional athlete. And speaking of Star Warriors, a man who was there at the beginning back in '95, Dwayne Mann, was also present on the night. The outright winners of the tournament were Canterbury, who were the winners of both the under-15s and 17s. Tasman Titans took second place for both divisions, and third place went to Southland for the under-15s and Otago for the under-17s. I spoke with Canterbury manager Dwayne Mundy and the two co-captains Dominique and Jordan of the winning Canterbury under-15s team about taking out the tournament, and caught up with Warrior Ben Henry on his views of the up-and-coming talent in the South Island.
Dwayne, you must be pretty happy about the result. Can you give us a few comments?
Oh yeah, very happy with the result we've had. We've only had these guys together for probably about 4 weeks now. So with that short turnaround, they've gelled together very well.
Well, yeah, you can't fault that, can you?
Oh no, very happy. Good bunch of kids.
Great. I mean, they're setting up for your trophies now, so I won't hold you up. Thanks very much for your comment.
Thanks very much. Yeah.
Great result, win for the under-15s. How's it feel?
Oh, feels good. Yeah, just stoked with the boys. Good effort out there. Yeah, feels mean. Yeah.
Fantastic. And to be the best, what does it take?
Hard work, determination, and commitment. So yeah, just trying to get everybody down there.
Great guys, well done. Ben, thanks for giving us a few moments of your time. I know I had to drag you away from the dessert there. What did you think of all the talent out there today?
I think it's great. I think seeing 15, 17-year-old boys, playing rugby league, something which, I love to play, passionate, just good old backyard footy. I think that's great. And, actually watching them I'm on the sideline with injuries at the moment, it's making me sort of itchy to go out and play again. So, no, it was great to see, and good to see big hits and big runs and just kids enjoying themselves.
Sure, and you're a bit worried about your position on the team now after watching these guys?
Yeah, I am a bit worried. I mean, some of these guys are bigger than me, and I'm 23. So, it's good just to see, rugby league in general just growing, especially down in the South Island where rugby is sort of king. Actually, I was just watching the All Blacks and Samoa game today, and it's massive, and just to see that rugby league's actually making its way down south, of Auckland, of Wellington, is awesome. So. I'm just hoping that it grows even more.
Yeah, I watched the Tasman Titans. I mean, they're all rugby boys and they're all giving it a go at league. They seem to be doing pretty well.
Yeah, they are. I mean, a lot of our boys and the Warriors are from a rugby background. Solomon Kata, Konaleti Horau, all boys that had sort of first 15 rugby backgrounds that played in the college games. So yeah, it's just good to see that rugby league's making a headway.
After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
Welcome me hearties to Smuggler's Pub and Cafe, famous for hearty meals, craft ales and a friendly service way. Sensational seasonal menus with meals all day and evening too, or sail in for a snack with special menus for young smugglers and you. Settle in for a jolly old time, relax and enjoy our award-winning dining and lovely fine wine. Decked out in an old worldly way, we're open 7 days. Book or come on in to 8 Muritai Street, not far from a beach walk or swim. Phone 5464 084 4.
I'm Francis from Nelson Auto Glass. We repair all auto glass, stone chips, windscreen replacements, scratch removal.
If you have an auto glass issue, our team will sort it.
Nelson Auto Glass Specialist, 84 Vanguard Street, Nelson.
Hi, my name's Ian Mortimer. Mortimer Auto Upholstery is your one-stop shop for all your upholstery needs. We do car and boat interiors, boat canopies, ute tonneau covers, canvas and PVC fabrication. Call in and see us in Oxford Mews, 72 Oxford Street, Richmond.
We're the team at Jaycar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics, toys,
sound systems, cables, and much, much more. Jaycar.
120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
Victory 60 Plus is on Tuesdays at 1:30 through to 3:30 p.m. at 238 Upper Vanguard Street. You can join in for cards, games and a cuppa.
Sit and Be Fit is on at the Victory Community Centre Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. at the Victory Community Church, 238 Upper Vanguard Street. School terms only. On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Hi everyone, I'm Malcolm Harris from The Facilitators. We now look after sales for Mainland TV, radio, Sky and online. New Zealand On Air's latest Colmar Brunton survey confirms Mainland's large multimedia audience. If you're in business or want to put a message out to everyone in the Nelson Tasman region, plus nationwide on Sky or worldwide online, please give me a call or see our website at www.mainlandtv.nz.
Are you tired of endless reality shows? Would you prefer to watch captivating documentaries?
They have swallowed cars.
Exciting movies?
Go ahead, load up and shoot.
Music for the soul?
And if you think I'd ate your fish and chips, you're mistaken.
Programming from around the world. Places to visit. Local news and views.
I'm Graham O'Brien and today's bulletin.
Do you want to change the flag?
No, I don't want to change the flag.
Stay tuned to Mainland TV, your local station.
Nelson Tire Center. Great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer. All types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.